と婚約しよう。有頂天にさせて泳がせて、そして一番いいところで裏切ってあげる。だって姉さんは裏切った報いを受けてもらわなきゃ。
The Two Perfect Saint episode 3. I think I'm falling in love with this show. Now, obviously, the show is based around Philia and is based around Oswald. You assume it's about their romance. It's about her in another country, living, thriving, being appreciated, being honored, being a part of the kingdom, living a complete different life than she lived before. That's what the core of the anime is. But the reason I'm falling in love with this show is the sister. Now, when we first got introduced to the sister, she very much came off as like that bubbly type sister who, was just loved by everybody, who was the prettiest thing in the world, gave off that vibe that she would easily, betray her sister, that wanted her power, wanted her position. But in actuality, none of that came true. In actuality, she is a person who knows how to play the game, who understands that she's loved and does everything very intentionally and on purpose. But the reality is she actually legitimately loves her sister. Not like obsessive, but like she genuinely loves her sister. Like she has mad love for her sister, as you should for your sibling. Like she respects her. She looks up to her, right? Like that's like her well, not mentor, but that's kind of like, her life, thing that she looks up to. Like that's the person that like she inspires to be like her sister. And because of that, she operates in a way where she's trying to not be her. She's still trying to be herself, with all the knowledge that she has, but she's still trying to be like her sister. And she understands that she isn't her sister, that she isn't as powerful, that she isn't as gifted. She understands her limitations. So this episode is all, like, for the most part, right, there was a really cute date for Philia and Oswald, and the I don't remember what her maid's name is, but the maid sets her up on a date, and she gets praised by the people, and there's a scene where she actually has some input on what the country's gonna do for this demon attack, and we get a cool lesson on the fact that the demons are going to potentially invade, and that the original saint is the one that kind of like thwarted off all the demons before, and that's kind of where the saint job comes from, and that's, blah, 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 and there was a demon lord, and, a bunch of other stuff, as well. So we got like a history lesson for sure on the world, but I think the main crux, the main appeal of the episode was all focused around Mia. It had Mia, the sister, beginning to wake up. She was like, there's no way my sister, like, she's like, I know my sister. She's like, everybody else, I know my sister. She's like, she would not leave me. She would not do what they're saying that she did. I know it's a lie. So it goes through her investigating her parents, her investigating her mom, her investigating her dad, figuring out like why do they have plans for XYZ. Eventually she comes across a conversation where she finds out the legitimate info of like she was sold to this other country and everything else, and she was being really wrapped up in her feelings about being so ignorant to her sister and the life that she was living. She was like, so you've been living in this really cold environment the whole time, parents that don't love you, the country doesn't appreciate you, people that think you're a piece of doo-doo, not being fed correctly, like being overworked. She was like, why did I not, like, it was one of those things to where she just didn't realize, so she kind of like refused to see the truth kind of thing. And now she's gonna have that as fuel and rage, so much so she was like, I'm gonna get engaged to this prince. I'm gonna make him just wrap around my finger, and I'm gonna break him. I'm gonna ruin his life. And I was like, God damn, like she gonna get him, and I was like, that is so cool and everything. And like, what sucks too is like Philia is sending her sister, letters and advice on how to better herself as a saint and ancient writing and making sure that she's prepared for the demons' attacks. And her parents are just burning all of that. I'm like, go, these pieces of shit, man. Like, it sucks. But anyways, I love the revenge. I love that she has this attitude of just like, how dare you? Like, how dare you mess with my sister? Like, I'm going to use every ounce of my intelligence, my being, my position, my future position. I'm going to ruin you all. And I was like, hell yeah, girl. You ruined them all. So anyways, this episode I thought was really good. I think this, episode 1 wasn't my favorite. I did think episode 1 was boring. But episode 2, I was like, oh my God, this is not the same anime. And episode 3, I'm like, ugh. So I'm turned on to it. And I'm really loving it quite a bit. And it's a really, really good time and a really good watch so far. So yeah, 2 Perfect Saint. Definitely loving it quite a bit. I can't wait to see what the sister does next. That's what I'm interested the most. And then from the other side, I love seeing Philia being, an actual member of the kingdom as she should be for somebody beholden of her position and title and power. I think that's cool too. All right, friends. I'll see you guys next week for episode number 4. Next week is called Feelings Entrusted. So I don't know what that's really going to entail. So we'll see you guys then. Peace.